Have you ever really wondered what it takes to build an AI? I mean, not the sci-fi movie stuff, but the actual nuts and bolts journey from a single line of code to, well, a thinking machine. Today, we're going to unpack a real-world blueprint, a curriculum that shows you the path. Let's dive in. So that's the big question, right? How do you actually go from a completely blank slate to a functioning AI? It can feel like this huge, almost impossible task, but the truth is, it's a step-by-step process. And we're about to walk through that exact process, starting with the absolute basics.
All right, first things first. Just like building a house, you can't start without a solid foundation. In the world of AI, that foundation comes down to two key things: having the right language to actually communicate with the machine and a solid plan to guide you. Let's look at the tools you'll need.
When it comes to AI, pretty much everyone speaks Python. And within Python, there are two libraries you absolutely have to know. Think of NumPy as the heavy-duty engine, the workhorse that crunches all the complex numbers and calculations. And then you've got Pandas. Pandas is the master organizer. It takes all your raw, messy data and whips it into clean, structured tables that you can actually work with. You really can't build anything without these two. Now, this isn't just some random checklist. This is a proven methodology from IBM. And here's the thing that might surprise you. Notice how building the actual AI model is one of the last steps? Before you write a single line of AI-specific code, you have to figure out the problem you're solving, go find the right data, and then clean it all up. And it doesn't just stop when you launch it. It's a constant loop of getting feedback and making it better. Okay, so once we've got our foundation set, it's time to build the engine itself. This is where we get into the really cool stuff, giving the machine senses. We're talking about the ability to see and the ability to think. Let's start with sight. First up, we give the AI a pair of eyes. Computer vision isn't just about a machine storing a picture file. No way. It's about it understanding that picture. You know how your phone can automatically find and tag faces in your photos? That's computer vision in action. It's looking at millions of pixels and interpreting them to identify objects, people, and even what's happening in the scene.
So how does a machine actually go from just a bunch of pixels to recognizing, say, a stop sign? Well, it's a multi-stage process. First, it gets the image and cleans it up. But then comes the real magic: feature extraction. The AI learns to spot key patterns: the sharp corners of a sign, the rough texture of tree bark, that specific shade of red. Finally, it puts all those clues together to recognize the object and make a decision, like, hey, I should probably stop.
So if computer vision gives the AI its eyes, then the artificial neural network, or ANN, is its brain. It's a model directly inspired by the way our own brains work, with all these interconnected neurons designed to learn from data and spot patterns, just like we do. Inside this AI brain, you've got these neurons that make decisions and weights that tell the neuron how important each piece of information is. But the absolute secret sauce, the thing that makes it all work, is something called backpropagation. Just imagine a student taking a test. Every time they get a question wrong, they go back, study, and figure out why they were wrong. Backpropagation is the AI doing exactly that. It adjusts its internal weights every time it makes a mistake, getting a little bit smarter with every single pass. We've got our basic AI engine built, but modern AI is playing a completely different ballgame. We're living in a world that is just drowning in data, and we now have a new type of AI that can not only understand all that data, but can create totally new things from it. To give you some perspective on just how massive we're talking, every single day, humans create over 328 million terabytes of new data. That is an insane number. It's like every single person on Earth writing an entire novel every single day. This data explosion is the fuel that powers modern AI, and you need a whole new toolkit to handle it. You know, trying to manage big data is like trying to drink from a fire hose. It's not just the insane volume of information, it's the incredible velocity it's created at. It comes in a huge variety of forms, and you can't always trust its veracity or quality. These 6 V's are basically the 6 big challenges every single data scientist has to overcome. With all this data, AI can take 2 main paths. The first is discriminative AI, which is kind of like a detective. It looks at the evidence and makes a decision, like classifying an email as spam. But then you have generative AI. This is more like an artist. It studies a million different paintings and then creates a brand new masterpiece of its own.
Something completely new, but in a style you'd recognize. And I guarantee you've already used generative AI, probably without even thinking about it. From ChatGPT helping you write an email to DALL-E creating these unbelievable images from just a few words, these tools are changing everything. They're all powered by these massive data sets, and they can generate pretty much anything: text, images, video, even music. And that brings us to the final and, maybe the most human part of this whole blueprint. Because you can have the most brilliant AI in the world, but it's completely useless if you can't explain what it found. The final skill is data storytelling, turning raw numbers into a story that actually makes people listen. Data storytelling is so much more than just making a few pretty charts. It's the art of finding the story hidden inside the numbers and then telling it in a way that's clear and compelling. It's all about answering that one crucial question. So what? Why should anyone actually care about this data?
And you're not going to believe this, but the best structure for telling a data story is the same one used in movies and plays for hundreds of years. It's called Freytag's Pyramid. You start with an introduction to your data, you build the suspense with rising action as you reveal findings, you hit them with the climax, your most important insight, and then you offer a clear conclusion. It's an incredible way to turn a boring spreadsheet into a captivating saga.
I think this quote from the filmmaker Jean-Luc Godard just nails it perfectly. Sometimes reality is too complex. Stories give it form. That's exactly what data is. It's complex reality. And storytelling is what gives it a shape, a meaning, and a real impact. So there you have it. That's the blueprint for AI mastery, all the way from the foundational code to the final compelling story. It's a path that blends logic, creativity, and, well, communication. So the only question left is, now that you have the map, what will you create?